Atlanta, live from K.L.P. Studios. Ever wonder what went down behind the scenes of our top stories?
Say what?
Then tune into What Had Happened Was, the only radio station that takes you straight to the source. From coast to coast, tune in now as we dive deep into the stories, the drama, and the moments that shape the culture with
The Swanky One, new K.L.P.
and
with your girl, Evelyn Letitia.
live, Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 radio stations, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
And we are.
Yes, I'm a believer. Oh. Yo, we busy.
Hey.
Welcome back to One of the Baddest in the Land, the podcast also known as
What had happened was,
coming through your radios everywhere that you listen to get your podcast. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, WHHW Radio 1,
what had happened
and on
was,
Facebook at What Happened Was Podcast.
Yes, ladies
I'm
and
your
gentlemen.
homegirl, Evelyn Letitia, and my boy Kennedy Lucas Patterson.
Boy, howdy.
You are now tuned in, and if you didn't hear it the first time, too.
what had happened was,
That timing was good. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yeah, she got it. She's the official opener on all episodes. Like, I don't even do it no more. It's all E. Ladies, what you? Man, it's funny. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another goofy episode of
what had happened was,
I'm your gracious and highly favored K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas. Boy, howdy. And to my right, we got the wonderful, talented Evelyn Letitia's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. So I gotta say real quick, thank you guys for tuning in. Every week we try to give you guys a great episode, and people have been loving us.
Yes.
People have been loving each episode on Instagram, Spotify, our heart, and even on YouTube and Facebook for us as well. So we encourage everyone to follow those outlets, ever growing social media platform, and stay tuned because I did get a little bit of an update. When it comes down to Apple Podcasts. Now, Apple Podcasts has been around for a while, but they're getting ready to integrate video podcasts to their app. And we're still waiting on it because everybody, I'm not sure if the update is out yet as of this recording, but 26.4 is the latest update that Apple is doing, and video podcast for Apple Podcasts is part of that update. So if you do have the update, you should be able to watch us on Apple Podcast video version. If you don't have the update yet, that's fine because I don't even have the update yet. It hasn't updated on my phone yet. I think Apple, we're still kind of waiting for that part. But it's very, very exciting because now that's another outlet.
Yeah, and y'all know y'all want to see these faces.
They want to see the faces.
I know y'all love hearing us and everything, but y'all like, ooh, I want to hear. I want to see the face behind that sultry voice.
And we do it. And to shout out to everybody for my LinkedIn and our Instagram. What we started doing too is we call it early access. And really it's a cheat for me because when we edit and we produce and have everything out, I have to do it at a certain time, and then I have a whole bunch of other things going on. So we've created this thing called early access. And what that is you got to catch us live. Catch us live on Instagram and LinkedIn. And then the next following day, we'll have it on demand. So if you want to catch us live, we'll be streaming it live. We can see the comments and we can see the reactions while we're streaming the episode. So we look forward to just growth for What Had Happened Was podcast. Now, before we get to the nitty and gritty, what we like to do is catch up on each other. E, what's been going on
what
with
had
you?
happened was,
Well, what had happened was,
Yeah.
child, I feel like I said, I created this new thing now because of Ramadan. Like I had already started establishing getting up every morning like 6:30, getting a lot of water and stuff. And now that Ramadan's over, I'm still continuing that, and I'm switching my workouts in the morning time so I can get up, go to the gym, get a good strength training in, all that kind of stuff. So that had me feeling real well, South Carolina finally decided that, spring is here.
Yes.
Because we was back and forth, snow and ice, and then hot and
I didn't
cold.
know what we experienced.
Man, last weekend, it literally was like 80 degrees
Yeah.
on Thursday. And then Friday was 20 degrees. And I was just like, come on, bro. I wanna turn the heat off. Like the heat was already off in my house for at least 4 days.
Yeah.
And then I had to turn it back on because I woke up.
Cold.
And I was like, ooh.
It's a little brisk out.
Ooh, the girls are freezing. Like, what's... it's a little frosty up in here. And I look at the thermostat, it's 55 degrees in the house. I was like, so I had to turn the heat back on. So I was like, okay, finally, I got to turn the heat back off about 2 days ago. And I haven't turned my air on yet. It got a little warm, but then I was like, oh, take some clothes off. And, you know,
take it off.
Take it off. 1, 2, 3, release them. So between that and the ceiling fans, I was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming up here, you know, the tournament's still going on for the NCAA tournament. I got a call. I work with, like I said, ESPN sometimes as a runner for them, and
that's so dope.
So I get to work for the I think it's a championship game on Monday. Over at the Colonial Life Arena in Columbia, which is the USC Lady Gamecocks, you know, over there where they play. So I'm excited about that. What else has been going on? We just had a mixer in Charlotte for our film, Aggie Pride. Right. And, you know, we got some great donations and support for the film that we're raising towards our goal of what it's going to take to complete the project that we'll start, hopefully, filming this fall. And then that will be the gateway to our bigger project, the full feature. So we're excited about what's going on with that. Met some new folks, interacted. Awesome. We have our next promo that we're shooting next weekend in Greensboro. So excited about that. You know, on the casting side, being AD, you know, I got to watch some of those. A lot of those audition tapes came in that we watched. We went through every one of them that came in, and it's a full circle moment because yes, I'm an actress, but I also work in production side, so I get to see things from a production standpoint, looking at actors and like, whoo, child, like I'm glad I don't make those type mistakes. And we had a discussion about that because there were specific instructions going out about how to do the self tape, and some people just completely ignored it, right? They either ignored it or, like we discussed in our meeting, some people are just so green that they don't really understand what that is. Yeah. And my thing is this. With so much technology at your hands, at your fingertips, anything that you don't know, you can look up. Yeah. Right? Pretty much, yeah. You know, and some of my team was still on, you know, people don't know if they don't know, which I agree. You just don't know if you don't know. Right. But to say you want something so bad, I'm going to research the hell out of it and try to get whatever I can, like, you know, as much as I can to see what is a self-tape, what makes a good self-tape, what's a casting director. So, you know, it was interesting to see the self-tapes and the things that people did that did not follow instructions, some of them, which doesn't take away from your ability to put on a great audition, right? Yeah. Especially if it's a smaller pool. But in future, though, if there was a whole, like, thousands of people, and up front you didn't, you know, follow directions, some casting directors may be like, you know, you didn't even follow how to set the camera up and everything. Next, right? So it's just, I was saying during our audition process, we watch all of them, and there were some, you know, my director was all, you know, you can always find like a diamond in the rough. There may be somebody who's never acted before, but boom, this is your person, you know, that you can do this with. Yeah. And I totally agree. But what it did make me want to do, I said, you know what, I might start making some content just to help people out who are trying to get in the game. Because a lot of times I get DMs and people will ask me questions like, how do you get on these acting boards? Or where do you find these gigs and stuff like that? Or how do you do this? So, like, make it educational, funny content of how to set up, like, self-tapes. How your lighting should look. What's good, what's bad lighting, stuff like that. Because I was like, there are so many people, I just feel like, oh, if they set everything up correctly, like, it'd have brought more focus to the audition and not all the background distractions and everything y'all had going on and, you know, stuff like that. But I was like, I really, in the future, hopefully in the near future, if stuff slows down for me, want to do more content or either workshop, just giving people feedback, because it took me going to workshops when I first, but I was hungry for this stuff.
Oh yeah.
So it wasn't like somebody had to bring your workshop to me. I was what do I need to start, what I need to get into, and blah blah blah. You know, if somebody who's been in the game gave me some acting advice of how to do certain things, I took it, was open to it, and then I went research further on what they said, and then I found workshops. To this day, anytime I get headshots done, I still think back to the headshot workshop I went to early in my career. I still got my note. I got a notebook. I still got my notes from that. And the two actresses that led that have been in countless, SAG projects and all kind of stuff, still actively acting, in their careers. And I said I'm going to screenshot my notes and send it to them in a DM because I'm friends with both of them on Facebook. But they gave me such good feedback about what's a good headshot, all kinds of stuff. And I still take it with me. I still take all the things that my acting coaches and seminars have taught me. Hell, that stuff, the way I break down my script, specifically, I utilize a method that Shell, taught me when I was taking her classes. It's just acting, which I want to highlight that because she does have. You
talking about this the 28th?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be in the building.
She sent it to me. I wanted to go so bad, but we're filming our promo for Aggie Pride on the 29th. And so our Clemson, the football, we got our spring game in Clemson. I'm going to go to that like mid-afternoon, but then I got to head to Greensboro. So if I would have came all the way down to Georgia to Tucker, and then had to turn around and drive to Greensboro with a 10, a 10 a.m. call, and it's not going to work. So I've already told her that. Film a video and send it to you for sure.
Yeah,
I already told her I wasn't going to make it. But it's just, it's not just Acting Studios, which is led by, powered by Shell Purcell Entertainment. It's a brand new studio offering coaching, self-taping, acting classes, workshops, production services, and creative space for artists to train and collaborate. So that is going to be, a great outlet for people who are trying to get into, because Shell does a great job of breaking stuff down, and she's helped me with some auditions before. I've helped her with auditions, and we just get them out, and I book some things through her with helping me. So I love it. All of that has been going on.
I love my film friends.
Yes, I love me some Shell.
Yeah.
But what had happened was,
what happened with you?
Man, a lot is going on in the spaces. Like yourself, I'm also working on a film called Guardians. Kennedy Lucas Animation Studios have been on fire right now.
I've seen some of your real stuff. I was like, okay, I see you working.
We working on it. It's because we've been doing animation for a while, but this level of animation that we are creating, it's something special, and now I'm starting to understand a little bit more. And it's more of like an anime type movie that's gonna happen, but it gets me excited because we're doing that. And then I'm also working on, currently, City Never Sleeps Part 2 is like a mini series that I give for free to people to watch on our other outlets, just to kind of give the idea of where my film is kind of heading in the animation world. And that's been amazing. Guardians is looking really, really good. I just can't wait until I'm finished. It's going to take me a couple more months to get that thing done. But podcasting, of course, we still doing that. We had a Met Gala on Friday that I was a producer of. We had the cameras and whatnot of my other place of employment, but we were able to do that. So it's been really, really good. Working out. You see I got the arms out on this episode. Yeah,
he couldn't wait to have them arms out on camera.
I can't wait.
He said, I'm going to work with the arms out today. I said, okay, I see it.
Because I noticed, I got up and I saw the veins popping a little bit more. And I'm like, let me show you, the veins are popping. Like, okay, I think for this episode, let me just have my arms out.
The summertime and springtime, when the sun come out, for the guys, they usually say sun out, guns out. And for women, sun out, buns out.
I like that saying.
He got the guns out, y'all.
Got the guns out, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But
my buns will be out soon. As soon as I go to the lake. Buns out.
Buns out. But yeah, that's all I pretty much got going. Moving very, very soon. Vacation. Birthday's coming up next month or month and a half from now. So it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing in disguise.
Oh yeah.
Just feeling good and just doing our thing each and every day. So
yeah, and you kind of hinted on it that we will be moving to a new space.
That too. Yeah.
You can get the same great, level of content that you've been getting. Our same, backdrop and everything. Yeah. But we will be moving to another space.
Yeah,
so
let's
some
just
changes
say, you
coming.
know, our table might be new. We might get some new mic stands.
Yeah.
But y'all have to tune in for next episode because
Yeah.
we got the next episode will still be here. There'll be our final episode
Yeah,
in the studio, but
studio.
then we're moving to a different space, and it's gonna be awesome, guys.
Cause we're moving on up.
We moving up in the world.
To the east side.
We are moving up. Now, speaking of moving on up.
What had happened was,
All right, we just talked about filming.
Mm-hmm.
I got to talk about these Oscars.
Yes, the Oscars.
I am, first and foremost, I am so happy
Yeah.
about Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. Congratulations to everyone who won
that's
Oscars,
good.
all right? But we got to highlight Mr. Coogler and Mr. Jordan. So Ryan Coogler wins his first ever Oscar
Yes.
for original screenplay. And let me tell you, I get so humbled when I see Ryan Coogler win something, when I see Spike Lee doing something. And I kind of, when Tyler Perry makes very, very good shows, very good movies, I get very excited for that.
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler,
Talk about it.
first ever Oscar winning for Sinners. Now, we on the podcast, we talked about Sinners a whole heck of a lot.
Yes.
I get very giddy about this because I've been following Ryan Coogler's film style because I study from it as a filmmaker. And I'm sure we both filmmakers, we study from it. He made great movies like Fruitvale Station, amazing movie, guys, go watch it. Down to Creed, down to Black Panther. Can't wait for the third one because he cooking up the third one. And now Sinners, it get their shine. I knew Sinners was gonna be their year because they won a BAFTA, they won an Emmy. I'm not sure if they won a Grammy for the score. I'll have to research that back. Now you've got the Oscars, and now Ryan Coogler he's on the up and up. And I've said this before. Once somebody like Ryan Coogler and other directors win an Oscar, that solidifies your career. The Academy Award winning director. That's on his credit now. On every trailer, everything he does, Academy Award winner, Ryan Coogler. That's your resume. That solidifies you that you can make dope movies. I gotta say congratulations to Ryan Coogler. It's from a kid from Oakland that he was in $20,000 in debt when he first coming out, and now like he's a superstar, Oscar winner, film director, and for film directors like me and I get very, very excited because it just kind of gives. To me, it's like a symbol of hope, a symbol that we can do this. And Ryan Coogler being the first-time director with Fruitvale Station and other earlier projects where he might have got overlooked because he's a director, but we got bigger directors. Now, that's Ryan Coogler. That's our guy. Down to Michael B. Jordan.
Before you go on to Michael B, I want to say one more thing about Ryan Coogler. One thing I love about Ryan is his dedication to the day ones that they started together and they've ground together, and they have now had these huge accomplishments. And the one person that is very deserving of his praise and accolades that he always gives flowers to is his wife.
That too, yeah.
His wife invested in his dream and his vision early on. I mean, I'm talking with emotional support, physical support, financial support. He talks about that she was the one that really gave him money to get new writing software and computers and stuff like that. And every time you see him and his wife, you see the honor that he gives to her. Whether he's got his hand on her back, guiding her, blocking people away from her, fixing her hair. Like, you could see the love that he has, the love and admiration he has for this woman that believed in him and took a chance on him and everything. And it made me think about how often we talk about relationships and stuff on the show.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you'll see these back and forth men versus women type arguments on the internet and social media that I always tell people, y'all got to get off social media, because in real life, when you get to talking to people, it ain't that deep. Because you want to make sure if you're on social media, you hear a lot of time men saying, "Oh, women don't support our dreams," and blah blah. And I'm like, it's not that a woman can't support a man's dreams. You have a dream, but what are you willing to do to move the needle towards that dream? I'm all on board with helping somebody, get to their vision, their dream, their goals. But you're just telling me, "Oh yeah, one day I want to be a filmmaker." and you don't pick up nothing to write, you don't pick up nothing to type, you ain't researching nothing, you ain't trying to interact, learn nothing about the craft that you say you want. Like, you ain't doing nothing to move towards that dream goal. And that goal, then it just feels like, what would I be investing my time and energy into? Yeah. So a lot of times when people say they want somebody behind them, in this case I'm just talking about a man because he's a man, like, not only did he tell her about these dreams, he was actively trying to pursue certain things, taking certain courses at the college that he was at and getting into filming. And so she could see that he really was serious about this. And so her, choosing to stand behind him and push him even further into that vision, they both had solid foundation to stand on. And so I always want to give her a shout out too. And Ryan, just for the way that he shows that love and admiration for her.
I love it. It gives me hope. It gives me hope.
Gotta stay hopeful.
Yeah, I'm hopeful.
But yeah, you was about to move on to Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, played two characters, right?
Well, three. Because some people consider when he turned into the vampire because that persona took on a whole different.
That's a good point.
So there's like three different personas.
Technically, yes, I agree. Three different.
Stack turned into a whole different,
Yeah, I love it. Michael B. Jordan, let me tell you, that man is on the up and up. Again, same thing with Ryan Coogler, of course. Went to the BAFTAs, went to the Emmys. Now you're at the Oscars and the BET and what's the NAACP? I had to make sure. NCAA.
I'm sorry. NAACP, you're right.
Okay.
I got basketball. I got a tournament on my mind.
That's what I'm thinking about.
NCAA tournament.
I was about to say NCAA, but no, that's not. That's basketball. That's sports.
And y'all heard this black woman apologize. Say she was wrong. Because I know y'all like to think that we don't be apologizing. I was wrong.
Yeah.
NAACP.
You good. NAACP awards as well. So they've been on an award tour right now.
Yes.
Same thing with Ryan Coogler. Michael B. Jordan been winning some of these awards. This gentleman, again, when you say ride or die too, and day one's from Ryan Coogler, same thing with Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. Fruitvale Station, Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan. Creed, Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. Black Panther, Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler.
Yes.
And now you have Sinners, played technically three characters, winning his first ever Oscar, but then get this, he is now the sixth black actor to win in the best lead actor category. I am so excited for that because now Michael B. Jordan has history, right? He, like I said earlier, Academy Award winning actor Michael B. Jordan. That is a title that is going to carry for years and years and forever. I'm very, very excited for it because obviously we saw the movie and I saw Michael B. Jordan playing those three different characters, and they're different characters too. It's not like he's trying to play two characters and they sound the same, they act the same. No, Michael B. Jordan played those two gentlemen, the brothers, two different characters, two different outfits, two different hats, different hairstyle, and two different personas, if you will. And I think he played it off perfectly, in my opinion.
And I saw some interviews with some of the cast, and they were talking about, like, behind the scenes, that he was so driven to make sure those characters had their own separate identities that he would do things to even create different walks. And like one of them, he wore shoes smaller, so it would change the way his walking was. And another one, he did this, and then when they was cut, if he's in this costume, he would stay in that character until they switched over, and things like talk in that tone and that and that's the kind of dedication. Actors like that allows me to be the actor that I am. And what I mean by that is there's been times early in my career, my instinct was to play something or portray it in this way, but then I'll pull back and be like, no, that's doing too much. That's doing too much. But like actors like that lets me know, no, you're not doing too much. You are in the pocket of what you should be doing because that's a natural instinct to do. Yeah. Or thinking outside the box or whatever. Like there's been, I always say there's one time, this was some years back, I was coming through, I was in Greenville, and the highway back road I was on, The speed limit was like 55, but then it abruptly drops to 35, right? And if it's 50, I was already doing like 60.
Yeah.
So when it abruptly dropped to 35, and I was in that 35 zone, it was, I was still going about 45, 50, right? And all of a sudden these blue lights came on. I'm like, where they came from? Because I ain't seen not a cop car. They just came up, and all I kept thinking was, I do not need a ticket right now. How do I get out of this? And I was just like, okay, it's a hot day already outside. So I cranked my heat up because I'm thinking, I said I can tell them I gotta go to the bathroom, but I gotta sell it though. It can't just be you pour some water in your slabs. Like, I peed on myself. Like they probably heard that a million times, right? So I was like, no. What's worse than peeing on yourself? Knowing yourself, right? So I'm just like, okay, I turned up the heat. I cranked, because I know he was going to sit in his car for a few seconds, so I cranked this heat up so as high as it can go. It's already hot outside. I am pouring
I bet you are.
sweat. So now it looks like I'm extremely nervous. And he comes to the car, right? I turned it off, and and I let the window down right before he goes so the heat can kind of dissipate. And so he's going to say, excuse me, he said, you in a rush? I said, yes, sir. I'm trying to get to the bathroom. There's a gas in my house. It's not too far, but I don't think I'm going to make it there. I'm trying to get to the gas station right up here. And, I'm just squirming. I'm keeping my hands on the steering wheel because, I'm still a black woman in the car. So I'm like, let me keep my hands where he can see them. But I'm squirting. And I am pouring. I'm sweating. It looks like I have a nervous wreck. Like you pick prairie dog and you feel it. I'm like, I'm clenching up. And I'm like, I said, sir, I promise you. I said, I'm just trying to get the gas. I will slow down. I promise you. He said, well, just hang tight. I said, okay. Can you hurry? I said, I'm too grown to do it just on myself. And so like my old brain and my acting mode would have told me, no, that's too much. Don't do all that.
Nah, but
don't do all that. But I was like, you gotta sell it, because right now I know with me doing like 15 over or whatever, this gonna be at least a $200 ticket. I ain't got $200 right now that I just want to give away. We gotta sell it. And the man came and gave me that warning. I said, thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much, sir. And I eased off as soon as I didn't see him no more. I said, let me get to the house. I was like, that was glory, but
wow, actress.
But I don't tell that story too often, because then people will try to take the authentic you and try to make everything about, oh no, that can't be real. You was acting, what? You're like, no, this is really me. In that moment though, baby, I acted. I could have won an Oscar. Boy, I think if somebody had recorded that, I would have won an Oscar. I know. I just know. Baby, by the time I got home, I really did have to use the bathroom. I said, look, I'm going to psych myself up to clear out. But
brought it to existence.
Yeah, but when I listen about the behind-the-scenes preparation it takes, when you talk about Michael B. Jordan, you talk about Viola Davis, you talk about Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, you talk about these great actors who go there and they go beyond towing the line to really bring the stuff to life. It gives me inspiration as an actor. To make sure that I'm living beyond. Like I told you, when I did the film Born Again Baddie, and I was the prisoner. I could have just played it strictly how the script says, and just came in there with just how I look now and just said my lines in that way. But immediately I saw stuff in this character, so I asked the director. I said, can I add layers to this character? Like, can I put on tattoos? Can I wear a grill? Because I saw in my head what this person looked like.
I see.
Like, even the name, her last name was Hollis. That had this kind of hardness to it, and she was like a butch queen. I was about to say, she was a stud. Let me say that. She was a stud. And so I was like, how do I visualize that? Because that's not me in real life. So I have to be able to separate myself from this character. And so I went there, but in real life, that's not me. But, I was like, I ain't never walked with no woman and act like I was going to take it from her. Like, you going to be mine. You belong to me. Like, I'm just, Yeah.
I love it. I had to teach. So my business partner, Tony, because we did a movie called Dare Isaiah, coming to Apple TV and Prime soon, by the way, guys. We did his monologue, and we took a couple takes, and the story is a very, very impactful story. I said, hey, Tony, I'm going to need you to go there. I'm going to need you to give it
all
to
that
me.
raw emotion.
Yeah, and we got it on camera,
Yeah.
and because he did his monologue, he was crying a little bit. That's part of the monologue. I was like, man, I feel like an a-hole, but like this is the shot that I need. So it's the dedication that you got to instill into people too, especially with new people who are coming into acting. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, give us that raw emotion and see if that goes far.
Well, and you talk about new people and on the same line with Sinners.
Yeah.
Sinners won for best cinematography.
Yes.
Autumn Darrald Akapa is the first woman.
I saw that.
First woman of color too to ever win in this category.
Now that category I like because I'm more of a cinematographer than anything.
Yes,
so.
And I am a part of a network of women. We are 600 black women in film.
Hey.
600 black women is the name of it, but it's like all women who do like film work and all that kind of stuff. Huge network. And I remember when she won our WhatsApp chat group, whatever, the amount of outpouring of all of us congratulations and like people saying they were crying, and this is very emotional. It was a big win because there are so many women in cinematography that never get that acknowledgement, never, and she's the first. So for her to be this representation of all the women behind the scenes who do cinematography, that was amazing.
And those in cinematographers, they go hand in hand with the producer and director. A lot of people think cinematographer, oh, you're just a camera guy. No.
It takes a team to create the vision. Like your writer and director knows what they wrote.
Right.
They know what they want to see.
Right.
But it takes a good DP and a good AD for those three to come up and make sure you got the right kind of scene breakdown, how you want the shots done, everything.
Yeah.
When you saw the most recent promo of us doing Aggie Pride.
Oh yeah, I love that.
That opening scene where you see the woman cutting through and then the camera pans behind and circles back around and ends up in front of her. Like that has been the most highly complimented shot of that film.
Pretty good.
You know, and
Pretty
people
good.
love that opening sequence. But that takes your writer, director, your DP being able to carry out what he needs, your AD making sure that things are clear, that the pathway is clear, that we're not getting extra stuff in the shot. There's all kinds of stuff it's
more than just holding the camera. It's a lot of creative.
You got to get the grading right, the color,
the shade right,
the lighting balance, all that kind of stuff. So it's a great thing.
Great thing. Love that for her. Congratulations to her.
Congratulations to all of them.
But Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler, the whole entire cast crew of Sinners, y'all, this was y'all year. I mean, we just saw this coming. And a lot of my other friend buddies, it was like, if they don't win any award at the Oscars, we riding. That's not the case, because I know the Oscars was like, okay.
And I don't know if they won for the Grammys, like you were asking earlier, but they did win music for original score. Ludwig Göransson. So they won for that as well.
Good music. Good music. And then I saw Raphael Sadiq's performed You Lied to Me.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. I forgot the other guy that was on the song too.
He's the one that leads it. Miles Canton.
Miles Canton and
he did that. So that the way that they were able to put it on stage and give you the same feel that it had in the movie was amazing.
Money.
Right? And then to top it all off, you have she's a ballerina. What's her name? She comes at the end and she does a dance, right? What was her name? It's not Cindy. I'm
blanking out on her name too.
It'll come back to me. By the end of this episode, it's gonna come to me. But she comes out, she dances at the end of that sequence, right? What's so powerful about that is Misty Copeland. Sorry.
There it is.
I'm like, it's not Cindy. But Misty Copeland comes out and she does a dance at the very end of that song, You Lied to Me, in the sequence of it. To have her front and center as a ballerina was powerful because, one, she recently had hip replacement surgery.
I know that.
Not just a few days prior to that performance. Whew. And then anybody who's watching, listen, if you've ever known someone or if you've had a replacement of any joint yourself, that is not an easy recovery. Nope. It takes some months for you really. So for her to come out there on a brand new hip that she just gotten to dance in the way that she did, even if it was for a few seconds. That's beast mode strong. And the other reason why it was so, powerful is because just like maybe a week prior to that, if that, Timothy, was it Chalamet? I think that's how you say his name. Chalamet or whatever. He had just made comments basically saying like, who goes to see, opera or ballet? Like, it's not that important. Like, he made some comments like that. So for her to come out, be on the stage for Sinners, and he was up against Michael B. Jordan for Best Actor. Yep. You have to sit there, watch this ballet person have center stage in front of you, and then you also lose the Best Actor to Michael B. Jordan. It's like if foot and mouth was a person.
That would be that. And she performed to a lot of big actors and actresses and big wigs
and got a standing ovation. So to say that, ballet is like a throwaway or nobody really cares about it, like, shut you right on up. Yep. People care.
Nah, it was very, very powerful. Yeah. I'm so proud of Sinners. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see what them two do next. Yeah. Because I think they go kill it, whatever next they're going to do. But just a huge shout out. That's 4 Oscar wins for the movie.
Let's give them another round of applause.
That's awesome.
Another round of applause right there. I lied to you.
Lied to you.
Child, I like that song.
What had
happened was now we're gonna say it because it's kind of a little sad moment. But I like to do my rest in peace to actors and actresses and action stars that are that's been giving us some good movies. Chuck Norris has died at the age of 86. I've been reading that Chuck Norris has been in the hospital. He's been sick with, it didn't really say prior to our recording what he died from. I just think he was just really sick. And then I did see a couple days before that, it went viral. They rushed him to the hospital. I was like, okay, Chuck Norris may not make it. Right. And not in a morbid way, guys. I just like when you hear things like that and they're really, really sick, it's like, oh, okay, it's not really. And now a few days later after that, he died at the age of 86. Despite his political views on a lot of things, Chuck Norris is a action star. Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah, I grew up watching that. Mm-hmm.
That was a show, and I guess I'm doing the party because he's Walker, Texas Ranger, or the Bonanza Brothers. I reminisce those because my grandma loves those shows.
Yeah, that's how I grew up watching at my grandma's house.
Yeah, every time you pull up, she's like, all right, baby, you got to, I'm watching my picture.
Yeah.
When grandma says I'm watching my picture, you do not disturb grandma.
Get somewhere and sit down or go move around.
Move around somewhere, but she's watching her show, her picture. So he's been in that show, Walker, Texas Ranger. And then I think he's been in 2 out of the 4 Expendable movies. I think it was Expendables 2 or 3.
I didn't even know they had more than 2.
They had 4. They had 4. I think they're working on 5 too.
Golly, I need to catch it. Golly.
Yeah, I like the Expendable. I like the old. The 4 wasn't good because you had like 50 Cent was in the newest one. It just wasn't that great.
Okay.
But Chuck Norris, I think it was, correct me guys, 2 or 3, one of those 2. Chuck Norris.
Put your gun down.
Yeah.
Put your gun down, put your hands up.
Yeah. Get Richard Dutch trying. But it's Chuck Norris, then you had Jet Li, you had Stone Cold, Steve Austin, and one of those. It's 2 or 3, I can't remember which number. But one of them had like a big star cast. Yeah. And we watched that one in theaters when I was like young, years ago. And I remember Chuck Norris for those. I remember Chuck Norris, I've watched when he was on WCW. I don't think I was born yet when he kicks one wrestler all over the place. Very influential when it comes down to his action starness. He's on the grapes of like Jason Strahan and all the other action stars. So I do say rest in peace to Chuck Norris. Gonna be missed. Despite his political views, we ain't got to go into that so much, but it's always sad to see someone go.
But you know what? Now you reminded me of that, and I think earlier when we do the intro, and I always say Evelyn, and I do that. It reminded me recently we did have someone else that passed that was heavily embedded in the Black culture. Ms. Kiki Shepard.
Oh, I did see that.
And I grew up watching her on Apollo. That's why I knew
Yeah.
Kiki Shepard from Apollo, Live at the Apollo. She would always, if you remember, she would always bring, the next person out, or at the end when they're voting, she would come out, Miss Kiki Shepard, and she would do the hands over their heads so you can vote. I always loved watching her, not because I thought she did like this big, great thing that, but like, just to see her, this beautiful black woman on TV, I always love to see what outfit Kiki got on today. Yeah. And when Steve Harvey was the host, for sure, every time he call out, he would always give her that moment to let her kind of show her outfit. And she would do a little turn and what she got on. But she always put it on. She was her. So that was a big loss in the community and things like that in our culture, because a lot of people came out and spoke up about how much of a great person she was. Yeah. But I remember seeing her every Saturday when Live at Apollo came on. I wanted to see what Kiki Shepard had on that night. Like, what she coming out in? What kind of dress she got? It was the dress and her hair. She would always have her hair done up some kind of way, and it was like an amazing thing to see this beautiful black woman on TV, because you didn't see a whole lot of, we have our black 90s shows and everything, but like, there was not a whole lot of dark-skinned women that were showcased like that, right? Yeah. So I was just like, oh yeah, I want to see what she got on, what her hair looked like, and she always looked like a beautiful black Barbie doll to me. Oh yeah. And I didn't even play with dolls growing up. My sister did. Oh. Like I'm such a tomboy, right? She's very feminine, but such a tomboy. I would rather be outside kicking a ball, climbing something, or digging a ditch. Talking about making a swimming pool, all kinds of stuff. Like, I was that type of girly, right? But I was like, oh, she looks like a black Barbie doll. If we had a black Barbie, because at that time we really didn't have black Barbie dolls like that. So yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. So rest in peace, Miss Kiki Shepard. I think I might have been a little too young to. I saw a glimpse on social media. I was like, I don't know. I know of the Apollo, but I might have been too. Too young.
The old school Apollo was it was dope. They still got it going on now. I think it doesn't give the same feeling for me. Yeah. But I did when I went to New York back in college. When I went to New York 2 years in a row. We went to Harlem. Yeah. And I was on a mission trip. And both times I got to go to the Apollo, and on TV I remember they used to make the Apollo look like this huge place. Like they would pan the camera out to the audience in the opening credits, and like it would just look like it going far back, but then when you get in there you realize just how small it is. 3 layers. There's like a ground, the middle, then the upper layer. But it's not as big as you would think. And I got to go twice. First time I actually went up on stage and Rub the Rock, which was this big thing that everybody did when it came out. I wasn't supposed to be up there. Oh. I didn't know that though. Yeah. So what
had happened was
after the show ended, and people started leaving the theater, they were allowing people to go down to the stage, like to take pictures, selfies, and stuff like that. And mind you, this was back like around 2009, 2010 when I first went to those 2 things. So like the cameras that we have now with this HD and 4K and 8K, we didn't have all that. Matter of fact, I think at the time I was still using like the Polaroid, like little. So. I ended up going to the stage, and they had like the staircase was right there, and the rock little stump was right there. Yeah. And so I just looked, and wasn't nobody like it wasn't roped off like you couldn't go up there. So I just walked on stage and got one of my friends to come on it with me and told them to take the picture for me. And as soon as they got to take it, somebody said, "Hey, you can't be on stage." And so the picture is taken. I still got the picture. It's a little blurry. Yeah. But now that people clean up pictures, I'm gonna try to get somebody to clean it up. But like. You see me standing with this, me rubbing a rock. I'm gonna have to find it so we can post it on. So
of course,
that's one thing we need to start doing. Like some of these stories we tell y'all, we need to start posting it on our Instagram so y'all can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
But rest in peace to Miss Kiki Shepard.
Yeah. It's a lot of. I think a lot of people gotta cherish each other because there's a lot of deaths going on. Yeah, it's like big celebrity deaths, and it just kind of. Like when Robert Duvall was pronounced dead, I got really sad. Yeah. He's one of my old school favorite actors. So, turning the show around now, this is actually pretty good news.
What had happened was
So, top WNBA players set to make more than $1 million a year after the new CBA agreement in principle. Of course, they say here, and this is my sources here from World Star on Instagram, they said, final details are still being worked out with a term sheet expected soon before player ratification and approval from the league's board of governors. The deal is expected significant boost salaries with some players earning over $1 million for the first time. Now, according to ESPN, the average salary will rise to about $600,000, and that's so from their base salary to that 600, that's up from $125,000,
Okay.
and the minimum being $300,000 from their minimum of $66,000 some odd dollars. And the Supermax starting at $1.4 million. Team salary caps are also expected to jump to $7 million, and that's up from $1.5 million. And let me tell you, this CBA agreement is a big deal for the WNBA because I think, and each year WNBA has been amazing, right? I've been watching the season, the last 2 seasons I'll say I've been watching. But since the last, maybe I want to see go close to 7 to 10 years of WNBA that I've been watching, it's been on an upswing. They sell tickets. Yeah. They give us great games. I've watched, what's my favorite? Asia Wilson from the Aces.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good season last year.
And she's going to be one of the ones that's getting that upper 1 million,
She will.
you know.
She will.
Yeah.
She can play. So I get very excited for the WNBA because now it gives them even more of a shot to shine, not only just on the court, but for the cameras, from sponsorship deals, from I'm so excited to hear the mic. From betting apps like DraftKings or Prize Picks, right? This is such a good idea because the men, let me tell you, I love the NBA, but they get paid a lot of money to play. So it's time for the WNBA to make their money, to make their mark, because these ladies, they play hard, they train hard. I bet their eating regimen is different. I bet their focus is different. Some of them lifting. I've seen the videos. They lifting. They in the gym doing some weight training. They grind. They grind. And I look forward to my ladies getting a lot more money than what they've been getting. Evelyn trying to flex. She's like, I'm also a basketball player too.
Y'all can't see it right there, but that's I got a suntan. I got a tan. But
yeah, I get very excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. This season's going to be awesome because of that. And honestly, I think it's going to allow the ladies or the WNBA stars who are not in that million bracket yet.
Yeah.
It makes them want to work harder to get to that bracket.
Well, and I think when you talk about the upswing of the popularity of the WNBA, I want to give credit to where credit is due to the NCAA women's teams have really increased that viewership because some years back, like, people were tuned into women's basketball in college, but, like, all of a sudden, like, because it used to be back in the day, UConn, and who else was it? It was UConn and someone else was, like, the big two that people only really watch.
Right.
Then insert Dawn Staley and the Lady Gamecocks.
Oh, yeah.
And then that brought in a whole new level of competition and fan base. And now you got multiple teams, like a lot of teams, really great talent spread out. And so when these girls graduate from college, people want to follow their careers. What are you doing next? What's happening? And they're going to the WNBA. And so we get to see them post-college, like, because NCAA girls basketball, like, I'm going to be honest, I don't even watch NCAA men's ball like that anymore. Like, I will watch it here and there, but, like, now, girls basketball, even with Game Changer, when we do pick up ball on Sundays, a lot of times we will have, like, somebody will have their tablet or anything in between games, whoever's sitting out, we got the game on. Yeah. We're watching NCAA basketball, calling out the score. Hey, who's the scorer? And I'm like, and there's a whole game going on right here. And we're watching it. Like, so, like, that level of viewership, and you want to see what happens next to these girls is, you know, and then now you got the unrivaled league, the 3-on-3 basketball with the women. Yeah. So that's having a whole lot of, you know, viewership. My hope is that on the lower level, young girls that's just starting out in life that hopefully they get back interested in rec ball.
Yeah.
When I grew up, since I was 6, I was playing basketball. Since 6. We played rec basketball, we did travel ball, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes I go back to like hometown to see, like, I'm like, do they even sign up for girls basketball anymore?
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's no. They don't even sign up till they get to middle school or high school.
Yeah.
You know, or unless your parent got the money to put you in a private basketball camp or something.
Yeah.
But like now you see a lot more young girls getting into basketball again, which is great. I'm looking forward to where it's going. But they're very deserving of this pay raise and everything like that. And I'm not going to even, of course, people would like to say that, you know, by people, I mean certain people that think, you know, they're hiding their racism or anything like that, but they will want to put this all on just Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
As if we don't have vets in the game who's been grinding in it. Caitlin Clark, along with others, has brought a whole lot of viewerships to the WNBA.
Yeah.
But to put all of this solely on just her back, like, come on now. You know how big of a slap in the face that is to Asia Wilson?
Yeah.
Like, to think is she's the only reason why, you know, because it took...
I think Asia Wilson better than...
Because it took a lot of these women, you know, going to the negotiation table to make this happen. It wasn't just one player.
Yeah.
It took a lot of them coming together and collectively fighting for this. And there's no slight to Caitlin Clark, because that girl's a beast.
Yeah,
she just
good
won
now.
MVP in the FIBA, I think it's FIFA basketball, you know, for USA team. So there's no slight to her. And whenever I say that, it's not her making these comments.
Yeah.
It's people who consider themselves her fans, but what they won't admit is they didn't even start watching basketball until she got there, because y'all making a race thing about, oh, well, she's better than it. Because when it's other white girls in the league, but now
Beckers.
Because it was her and Angel Reese and all this kind of stuff, like, you know, she's y'all great white hope. And so that's how y'all treating her, when Caitlin Clark is one of the most down-to-earth people that you can ever, you know, from her interviews, how she interacts with kids, how she talks about other players and wanting people to do well. She is not the person that her fan base are. Like, you know, so, yeah. But shout out to all those
Shout
women.
out to the WNBA,
yes,
the ladies.
ladies, yes.
We love y'all. We love y'all. And I can't wait to see what y'all do this season.
Y'all better do that big.
Do something big this season. We're going to follow close,
Shout
too.
out to Unrivaled, too.
Yes.
Them 3-on-3 tournaments is, them 3-on-3 games, they beastin'.
They beastin'. They beastin'. And it's good to see, because this is like, I never could. I probably could if I trained, but like, no, I'll leave that to the pros. Basketball. It's a lot. It's a lot. Well, on that note,
on that note, we
ready
gave
for
y'all what y'all needed. So y'all know how we end it.
Game changers looking like, hey.
What had happened was
Thank y'all for staying tuned, man.
Oh my God. Make sure y'all are following us at WHHW Radio 1 on Instagram, the What Had Happened Was podcast on Facebook.
Yes.
And anywhere you listen to get your podcast, you can hear us there.
Yeah.
And like you said, coming to Apple soon.
Apple video, video for Apple.
Yeah, Apple
coming soon,
Video
y'all, I
will
promise.
be on there. Y'all can see our beautiful faces.
Yeah.
In the meantime, stay tuned and tune
Stay
back
swinging.
to us.
what had happened was
Peace out.
Deuces.
Made in Georgia.